Joined us. Emma, congratulations.
Thank you.
What happened to Curtis there? Did you get a good look at it yourself?
Yeah, I think he might have lost a ski just as he landed there and just tripped as he fell in the water. So I guess he's going to be hoping to do about the same, I think, on the next cut and yeah, land in about the same spot. That was pretty nice.
Now, Emma, I guess Curtis, he's sort of still relatively inexperienced, but he always keeps a cool head. Will this have upset him much?
With any luck, he'll put one up on the board around there now.
All right, here he is now, Curtis Shears, looking for a big jump. Shouldn't upset him too much. He started it well. Gee, looks good coming in. He's got a lot of speed and a big lift, and that is a beauty too.
That's good.
That's the one we've been looking for.
He'll be happy with that.
That was about the distance he would have been credited for in his second jump.
I think he'd be pretty happy with that jump. That's a long way.
Well, he had a 61 in the first round to qualify, and he's in good shape here. See, he just got onto the bottom of that jump ramp, and a big spring off the top, and Curtis Shears, a good-looking jump. We have plenty more to come in the World Cup men's jump final, back after the break.
This is the men's jump. Grant Barnett. A replay of his first jump.
And a great start too. Magnificent opening jump. Really came in strong position. And look at that lift that he gets, Craig, off the top of the ramp there. He was in great form.
Grant is just unbelievable. He came out to his Moomba and is just flying. He's, you know, he's in really good form this year, and I'm really, really happy for him. You know, this is a really unique final, and it took 61 meters to make it in the top 8, and it's incredible. I know all these competitors are really pumped up. And here's another cut from Grant, really late, actually right on the corner. Gee. Still managing to get a little bit of a kick out of that. Just really pushing it, really cutting it really close there, Mark.
Well, it won't be quite as far as his first, I don't think. 60.5 was his first. That one maybe not quite as far. But you mentioned there the cutoff. Just to make this competition, just to make it, you had to jump the Moomba course record from 1995 just to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
So it is just an amazing field. Now you see here, Grant looks in good shape coming into the bottom. Craig, just analysing that, he looks as though he may have lost a little bit on the jump ramp itself. You see his body shift to the side.
57.9 it was.
That's right, Mark. He left it so late and cut right onto the corner there, and actually clipping the side. I was actually wondering to see if he had his right fin. He looked like it's there, so his equipment is fine. So it's still a good jump to come off like that.
Now, while we're speaking of Barnett, let's go down to Andrew.
Thanks very much, Pete. Well, Curtis, a little bit of touch of panic on the last one, mate. You just had a fall on the second jump. No panic at all?
No, it wasn't too bad, actually. Yesterday I had a disastrous set. Just qualified, and really today was just to go out there and calm down. I think the second one was longer than the last, but I'm happy to just have 3 jumps safe and just come in and get ready for Monday now.
Well, Ray came down, your coach, and just spoke to you before you went back out on the water on the last one. What did he tell you?
Well, he wasn't here yesterday, and I was having panic attacks, and because I wasn't jumping good. He told me the second one looked good, just to bring it down a little later, and just to go from there.
Well, the big question, 62.4, is it going to be far enough?
No, I don't think so. I saw the boys fly yesterday, but like I said, I was just out there to get 3 good jumps, and now I'm ready for Monday.
All right, mate, good luck for the rest of the competition. Grant Barnett, one last jump.
Here's brotherly love. This is the grumpy Barnett.
Well, Mark's going to have to back it up a little bit, and maybe a little bit later than his first one, and try and get the same lift. If he does that, he's going to fly.
Okay, Grant Barnett now coming in. Plenty of cheers on for his third and final. And he's got a good approach in, good speed. Oh, really got forward, a lot of lift. And almost twisted into an awkward position in the air, and he knows he was lucky to get out of that one. He seemed to have some problems in the air. It's a good jump, but his first of 60.5 will be his best. So he's got a good one on the board and tried to match it on the next 2, but unfortunately unable to. Here it is in replay. Creek, see if you can spot what happened for him in the air.
Actually, it was a really nice cut. He did exactly what I anticipated. He brought it down just a little bit more than his first one, but backed it up a little bit from his second one. So he had dialed in right for the cut, but had so much speed he actually upper body crushed.
55.4, Grant Barnett. His best jump will be 60.5. Scott Ellis. And welcome back, Scott Ellis, defending champion. 66 point something.
Well, great looking jump. Let's see how he goes. Scotty Ellis now coming in. in great form and beautiful. Have a look at this now. He just flies, and you are watching the new Moomba Masters course record. The biggest jump ever seen on the Yarra, 66.6.
0.4 it was.
Still in debate. It's come up on the computer here as 0.6 for the official scoring system. So
that's even more.
We may have. Well, that is amazing. Craig Llewellyn, what do you think about that?
Unbelievable, Mark. He just opened up with a big boom. He backed it really late and just kicked it. I'm still trying to get my mouth off the floor here. That was just a phenomenal jump.
Well, we're into the hot ones now. This is the big competition, the defending Moomba champion. He's already reset the course record, his own course record from last year. Here he comes. Oh, no.
Just a little bit late there, Mark. He's even pushing it a little bit harder. I think he knows those guys on the dock are really watching him and really cutting it really close onto the jump and probably even hitting a fin there.
Well, that's certainly going to be the jump to beat that first one at 66.6. He is only 80 centimetres, 0.8 of a metre off the world record.
Or 67.8 metres.
Incredible.
Actually, I was
54.6, Mark, so he's about 12 metres less on his second jump.
So incredible performance. Hard to pick exactly what went wrong there. It looks like he had too much speed and just couldn't handle it.
That's exactly right. He actually cut a little bit too late, and he was too close to the right-hand corner. And I think he knew it, and he could see it, and so he upper body crushed.
Well, Scott Ellis, we've just seen a new record here. And for those of you that have never tried ski jumping, let's get the thoughts of the man himself on going through the air.
Well, the next time you're going down the road, about 60 or 70 miles an hour, hang your head out the window, and then imagine yourself just going from the ground level straight to 30 feet up in the air in a matter of a split second, and then just going completely silent and just actually floating down till you touch the water. It's adrenaline, it's fear, it's all these emotions rolled into one, which happens within 5 to 6 seconds. And it's the funnest thing I've ever encountered in my life. What you can see, I got hurt. I came back as soon as I could, and I'll be doing it for a long time.
And with jumps like that, we certainly hope he does. 66.6 and then 54.6 from Scott Ellis. What a magnificent effort. He's got one jump to come. A little gust of wind coming up here now, so he may have already given his best. Let's see what he can do here. Jump number 3 for Scott Ellis.
Now, just 3 years ago, he had an horrific accident. They thought he would never walk again, Scott Ellis, and he never said no. He stuck with it, and here he is back. He is just on fire, and he is the man to beat now in this competition. The conditions out there are absolutely superb, and Scott Ellis has left this one late. He's going to have all the speed he needs, and he's got the lift. That could be bigger. It could be bigger. Oh, maybe not. But that is sensational. What a performance. Creek, you must want to get down there and have a go.
Oh, man, I'm just sick about being up here. I wish I was jumping. But I'm really happy for these guys. They're really pushing it to the limit, and they're just flying.
Well, great performance from Scott Ellis. And not only is he getting the big distances, he looks like he's got so much more, so much ahead of him, doesn't he?
It does. He just looked like on this last jump, he got pulled up just before the jump to try and set up to kick, which that's the wrong thing to do. You want to try and drive away from the boat, and that's what equals the lift. And he just come back towards the boat, and I think that cost him a little bit, but still phenomenal.
Where should he be thinking about kicking off the top?
He should actually be not even trying to think about kicking, just driving away from the jump or from the boat. And if you do that, it actually just happens automatically.
Okay, Andrew, let's go down to you. A new record holder.
A new record holder, a new leader, 66.4, Scotty, a huge monster on the first.
Yeah, it was huge. I watching conditions, watching Curtis and those guys ski, and it looked good, so I figured I wanted to go for the record and played it safe, did everything I was supposed to do, and it all came together.
How difficult is it after the first jump with such a big jump on the first one to try and back it up on the second and third?
Yeah, what I really want to do is just try and do exactly the same thing and just, keep increasing inch by inch. And I came in the bottom, and for a split second I thought, hurry up and get it. And I crushed the second one, didn't get all my lift on the third one, so a bit of a mind game, I didn't win, but the first one was really good.
Well, the wind looks like it's swirling around a little bit down here. How was that out there?
It was good. It's a little bit swirly. You can see the guy's skis moving a little bit, but if you're really aware in the water, look at your surroundings, you can capitalize on it and use it for your advantage.
So now that you've got to wait, are you more nervous sitting up here watching the rest of the competitors, or rather be out on the water?
I'm more nervous now because I already done what I got to do, and now I just got to sit back and wait, and I hate that.
Okay, mate, well done. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Well, having seen that, I'm just wondering what's going through the head of this guy, Mark, because he's liable to do anything, isn't he? Jimmy Clooney.
Well, just fantastic, and we're very biased up here because Creek's Canadian too, and Jim's staying with me this year, so...
Heaven forbid.
Well, I know Jimmy really well, and Jimmy hates to lose. I don't care what whenever he gets on the water, this guy wants to win, so he's going to be going for it.
He had a very rare early night last night, so he is raring to go. He's a great competitor. This is his 10th year at the Moomba Masters, and here he is. Jim Clooney into the bottom, good speed, and a big lift. Look at him give a big tug on the rope, and that's a nice opener too for the Canadian. Good opening jump.
Looked like he was a little bit early on that one, but he really got a good lift. I think he's just trying to size that jump up, and he'll be ready to go.
Well, let's take a look at it again. Fairly early on the cut, really pacing himself well. He's got a good approach to the bottom, and he gets, and you see him reef in on that rope in the air, and that could gain an extra 3 or 4 meters just in that.
Yep, he's in the air, pulling on the rope, trying to inch himself forward every inch he can.
Well, he's looking towards his coach down there. I think Ray Stokes will be getting some tips for on the bank. And a good-looking approach there for Jim Clooney. From here on, Craig, he's got good shape now. All he needs to do, I guess, is just get that cut.
Yeah, he's actually tested out the wind and tested out the jump. Now he's going to bring it up with a little bit more cut on the jump and try and get the same lift.
All those skis, they're worth a fortune. But let's find out a little bit more about them now from the competitor who went off first today.
There we go, Jim
Shears.
Clooney now, second jump. This is a better looking cut. He's going to have a lot of speed. Hang on to it, Jim. And he's got big lift, good flight. Oh, that's going to be a marginally further jump, I think, Craig, but he still needs more.
That's exactly right. He did exactly what I expected, brought it down a little bit to get a little bit more edge into the jump. Still wasn't quite enough, and he knows it, so he's going to do a little bit more even yet and try and get the same lift. Just beautiful lift, just kicking the heck out of it right off the top, which is real typical of Jim, but he needs to bring it down.
He's got a beautiful style. He spent so much time early in his career with Australia's Glenn Thurlow, who set the world record here back in '88. And a 58.0, 58.0. So Jim Clooney with a good jump. Now he's just got to take it by the horns and cut a little later.
That's exactly right, Mark. That's easier said than done, though.
I'm right with you. So we wish him well. The 29-year-old from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada. His 10th visit to Australia, and one of the great characters, Pete, hasn't he?
Well, you said he had an early night. He obviously wasn't with you last night. He is a character. There's not much of him. He's built like a pocket battleship.
And I see he's grown the hair a bit longer this year. I think he was a bit sick of coming out here and being mistaken for Tony Liberatore of the Western Bulldogs.
Actually, not a bad likeness.
So he's grown the hair a bit this year.
It'd be interesting to set up an arm wrestle with them because they're both about the same height, and Libber can pin a few down, as we know.
Yeah, they're like separated at birth, those two. They're just amazing, the likeness. 92 and 95 Moomba champion, and of course was third, the bronze medalist at the World Championships last year in Colombia, Jim Clooney. So his career ambitions, nothing surprising, to stay in one piece and to keep coming to Moomba. This is 10 years, so he hasn't done a bad job of those career ambitions.
It's going to be really interesting to see what he does here. I'm going to be really interested if he brings it down another 5 feet or so. If he does that, he's going to really fly.
All right, Jim Clooney, third and final. He needs a big one. He wants to get up in those 60s. He wants to be a part. It's a beautiful setup. He's around about the same spot, maybe a little later. And he's got good lift, but I think number 2 is going to be the best.
Yeah, I think so too, Mark. He actually left it about the same and just bringing it a little bit early.
So the 58 on jump number 2 will be his best. Still it is Scott Ellis, the man to watch. Here's the replay of Jim Clooney. Very aggressive cut in. Look at that beautiful lift off the top. Gives a wave to the guys and says, it's not going to happen for me today. And we've got plenty more coming up in the World Cup men's jump final.
World Cup of water skiing, and Scott Smith from the United States. We're taking a replay of his first jump.
Actually left it really late, and it was he just didn't quite get his lift. But looks like he's out there to really challenge the leaders.
So Scotty Ellis so far with the fantastic jump. New course record here at Moomba, 66.6. So he's got the keys of the Holden Suburban in his pocket so far, but plenty of jumps still to come. We've got Scott Smith, 2 jumps from him, Freddy Krueger, Bruce Neville, and Jarrett Llewellyn, brother of Craig. Scott Smith, jump number 2.
Leaving it really late, Peter. getting a really nice lift. That's pushing out there.
Would reckon that would be further than his first, but it won't be good enough to take the keys of the car and the lead away from Scott Ellis.
Sure, interesting enough, Scott has got the longest skis out of all the competitors. 67 inches long. It's huge. Actually, almost 7 inches longer than most of the other guys, and using them to his advantage.
So one jump to come from Scott Smith as we go down to our presentation area where we find Mark Beretta.
Thanks very much, Pete. And the guys are flying out there, and Emma Shears was flying in the women's event. 46.2, that's magnificent. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much. I was really happy with the jump. I wasn't sure whether it was going to be enough with Brenda going out there, the world champion, but in the end it was enough, and I'm really happy to win that today.
Now, nice to get that, isn't it? The first World Cup of the year. Nice win under your belt for the rest of the season.
Oh, definitely. It's good to start off the season well, and hopefully that's just going to help the rest of the season progress just as well.
Now, you've obviously had a great lead up. We mentioned you and Brenda training together. What was it like today, the two of you?
I think today that there's a little bit of tension there, but we were just trying to ski what we can always do and going out there and doing our own thing, and we're both happy for each other however we ski, and so I was really pleased to come out with a win today.
Now, Em, you'll roll on from here. Of course, you're off overseas now.
Yeah, I'm off overseas in May for the US Masters is the next stop in America, so I'm pretty excited about that and just looking forward to continuing.
Good on you, Em. It's always great to see an Australian win here at Moomba, and to get the first World Cup is magnificent. Max Kerwin has the little drop of celebration for you, so enjoy that, and good luck overseas, Em, this year.
Thank you very much.
Emma, this is on behalf of Cafe de Colombia, our official sponsors, and of course the makers of this beautiful little drop of bubbly.
Thanks very much, Max. Em, good luck overseas.
Thank you very much.
And so Emma will head off, having completed the World Cup, and we're down on the water now with Scott Smith coming in for his next jump. He's in good shape too. Number 3 it is, into the bottom. Oh! So it won't be quite as good. Had a lot of speed in, but couldn't get that lift off the top. And Pete and Craig, not all that Scott Smith would have liked on that one.
No, his second jump's going to be his best mark, 60.6. What happened to him there, Craig?
Sitting way back on his heels, leaving it really late, way back on his heels, and obviously when you hit the jump, that's not a good combination.
So the end result was probably in the low 50s. We'll wait on the official measurement. But he won't be taking the lead away from Scotty Ellis. In fact, it was less than 50, 45.5. I suppose the important thing was he didn't come to any harm there.
That's right. At least he didn't go off the back and get hurt.
3 competitors still to come. Freddy Krueger, Bruce Neville, and then Jarrett Llewellyn. And as I mentioned, the leading jumper here this weekend, here in Melbourne on the Yarra, takes away that magnificent motor car. That's the Holden Suburban, 4-wheel drive, an absolutely superb vehicle. And at the moment, the keys are in the pocket, or the wetsuit perhaps we should say, of defending champion Scott Ellis, who set a new course record here of 66.6 metres. So he'll be absolutely delighted with that. But of course there's still plenty of jumping to come in the Moomba Masters and in the World Cup here this afternoon. So we're down to our final 3 competitors. Freddy Krueger has 3 jumps. That's about the brightest colour wetsuit I think we'll see this afternoon. Bruce Neville, and then Craig's brother Jarrett, who's last off. Have you spoken to him today? What are his thoughts on competing here?
Actually, I haven't talked to him today. I haven't actually seen him, but I talked to him after he jumped yesterday, and he's really fired up, and he couldn't believe actually how nice the conditions were yesterday with the nice headwind that we had yesterday. Same conditions that we have today, so he's going to be looking for the same distances.
Well, while he takes a little breather to let the river settle down, let's go down to the dock, and here's Andrew.
Well, Bruce, I can't believe how relaxed you are. You're just wandering around down here, smiling, joking. You're feeling confident?
Yeah, it may look relaxed on the outside, but I'll tell you what, inside it's going 100 miles an hour. Scotty Ellis put out a huge jump. I was down there watching it from behind, and he just went, I've never seen a guy go so high. And I'll tell you what, the pressure's on out there, but the conditions are just absolutely ideal. So
you had a 64.2 yesterday. You're going to change anything today, or just go with the flow?
No, I think I'm just going to try and leave it the same. I had nice early cuts yesterday and just actually let the boat do a little bit of the work, like get the speed. And I'm going to try the same tactics today and see what happens. But you're going to have to go pretty hard to beat Scotty.
Okay, mate, we'll let you gather your thoughts. Good luck.
Thanks.
And the first jump now of Freddy Krueger, our final three competitors. This is his first. A little bit of a breeze, headwind. Nice early cut, that one.
He looks in good shape too, Krueger. His first visit to the Moomba Masters, and look at that flight that he gets through the air. He's in brilliant form. And he, despite his position at the moment, well, he is sitting third, but he's a real threat to Bruce and Jarrett, Craig.
Absolutely. Freddie can really kick the jump. He really works the jump really nice. I think actually this wind might have surprised him a little bit. I think he might have thought that it wasn't quite as strong. And there he was a little bit back, so he didn't quite have the late cut he wanted, but he worked the ramp really well and got the distance up there fairly well, so I expect him he would bring it down quite a bit.
Not a bad opening jump from Freddy Krueger, 58.0. And joining us downstairs, the wild man of Borneo, call him what you like, Jimmy Clooney, welcome.
Thanks, Peter. It's great to be back. Unfortunately, I'm not looking at very much money here today. But
I've got a question for you before you go any further.
Yeah?
What prompted you in your wildest nightmare to stay with Beretta?
It's because he knows he can cook and I can't.
We all know that.
Yeah, well, it's just great to be back, and I wish I was a little bit better prepared for the event. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough time to prepare, and so I had a good jump yesterday, but I think I kind of wasted it. And luckily, the best part about coming down here is you get another chance, and then you can go again at night. So I'm, you know, despite how my poor performance, there's just nothing like sitting right where I am, right opposite the jump, and watching this sport. And you know, I was standing on the end dock there, and I saw Scotty come off with that 66, and it just does something to you, this whole event. And with the conditions today, what you're going to see is hit or miss. With the wind funneling down the river, once you get up there, it just hangs you up there like a kite.
And what can Beretta cook best? What's his forte? Burnt toast, is it?
I was happy last night that Sue got home ahead of him and actually had dinner on. So there was no Chinese takeaway last night. We had that the night before. So
good on you, Jim. Freddy Krueger now, jump number 2. Can jump too, this young guy from the US. He's in good shape, and he's got big lift off the top, and that is going to be competitive too for Freddy Krueger. Jump number 2, Craig, looked good.
Looked really good. He did exactly what I expected, brought it down. Actually, this wind is a little bit more gusty than previously. He's in the air. Actually, the skis are bouncing around a little bit.
I think you would almost say, Craig and Pete and Mark, that it was a similar setup to the one I was having, and with this wind funneling down, you really got to be able to adapt out there. And you know, actually the best guy in the world for that, and that's why he's been such a champion, is Bruce Neville. He can adapt to these different conditions, just like you know, changing his socks. But Freddie really got some lift on that one. Unfortunately, like me, not the speed, but 61.3, he's in there, but I think he's going to really poke at this one and try and catch up with Scotty.
He's about 5.5 metres behind Scotty Ellis, so see if he can do it on his third and final jump. Because this wind, once you get up about 15 feet in the air, it gusts a lot stronger. Can really hit you, coming very, very strongly from the southeast. It's going to moderate tomorrow. It'll be ideal on Monday. So they're going to have different conditions for the whole of the 3 days. That's nothing unusual about Melbourne weather, though, is it really?
Absolutely not. Now, I do see on the official computer, and the judges will recalculate, and if they have a problem, recalculate jumps until they're satisfied that they have an accurate reading. And they have recalculated Scott Ellis's. It is a 66.4 on the official computer, 66.4. So it's taken 20 centimetres off, but it's still the one to catch, Craig, isn't it?
That's absolutely right. When you got a 66 on the board, everybody takes notice, because that is a tough score. I don't care who you are.
What did I tell you this morning, Beretta? That world record's on thin ice today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We've still got the couple of big guns to come.
As long as you're not, Jimmy.
Well, I think you know, I think that world record is in jeopardy with Bruce and Jarrett. If Freddie gets set up here, which he might just be, that's a little bit later. Nice cut into the jump, missed it right in the bottom there. So he just didn't have that leverage, that power when he hit the jump. So you know, like I said, it's hard to adapt out there. But I think if Bruce or Jarrett does adapt, maybe Jarrett in particular can give that record a nudge here.
So Freddy Krueger might have to be happy with 61.3, which was his second. We haven't got the measurements yet on this one, but it didn't appear up with the second attempt. 56 even. So he can't take the car keys off Scotty Ellis or the lead. His best was 66.4. Bruce Neville is next. His jump in just a moment. Bruce Neville, our penultimate competitor in the Café de Colombia Moomba World Cup. His first jump was very average for him, 51.7. He'll certainly do better than that.
He certainly will, Pete. We're not worried about this one at all because it was one for Bruce to feel the conditions. And he waves to the crowd there on the side. And, well, don't worry about that for Bruce Neville. We've seen him in this situation in tournaments around the world so many times. He's an ice-cool competitor and the world record holder. And here he is, holding out now on jump number 2. I expect this to be a good one. This is a beautiful setup. It's the best we've seen. He's got a lot of speed and he's lifted. It's going to be up there. It's not going to be the biggest, but I think it is going to be a good one. And he is being coached by wife Tony, who's downstairs. Tone, what did you think of that one?
Actually, the turn looked really good. He just tended to pull on his arms, and basically that's coming from over anxiousness. So he just needs to relax a little bit, turn like that, and just relax the arms and go with it.
Tone, I think Craig and I agree with you. It looked like a beautiful cut. 59.9 is the distance. Is that the cut that he should keep to the ramp?
I'd like to see him do that. I'd like to see him basically go exactly the same, but just start a little bit easier so he can maintain it into the bottom.
Now, Tone, we're in the commentary box, and from where we are here, it looks like the water may have settled down, and the conditions look perfect. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think earlier in the set it looked a little bit rolly this morning, but now we've got the nice headwind. The only thing that differs from yesterday, I think, is on their counter cuts, they're not carrying the speed into the turns like they were yesterday. So I'd like to see Bruce make sure that he keeps the speed into his turn. So basically, if he can keep the counter cut the same, he'll have it all together, hopefully.
All right, thanks Tony Neville, who's down on the dock watching husband Bruce. We go down to the starting dock now, and Andrew Barnett has Freddy Krueger.
Thanks very much, Mark. Freddie, 61.3 today, not your day today.
No, after yesterday coming off the 63, I felt like maybe I had a little better feel for the yard because, last night was my first set. Thought maybe this was really my place to jump, and it felt really good, but I made a couple bad decisions, and they ate me up.
Jim said it's a little bit difficult to adapt out there. You just didn't look quite comfortable on each jump. Was that the way you were feeling?
Yeah, last night it was the same for every jump. Today it feels like there's a roller in a different place, and the adaptations you made may or may not have been the right thing to do.
All right, mate, you've got a long weekend coming up. All the best. Bruce Neville, last jump.
And here comes Big Bruce. 59.9 was his previous jump. He's got to beat 66.4. Last attempt for Bruce Neville. Can the Aussies do it again?
Well, he looks good. This is another magnificent looking approach. He's got a lot. Oh, no, he's let it go. Well, I don't know what the situation was there for Bruce, but he's decided to let that one go. And that is disappointing for him. He's not going to be happy, and you see there shaking the head. And he knows that he's let the opportunity of a lifetime go there. And
Tony, what happened? What did he do wrong there?
Well, it looked like he was leaving it really late, which he really needed to do.
Well, just quite amazing, and that's a surprise for Bruce. You'd think, Craig, that in that situation he may have held on to that, and he knows that maybe he shouldn't have let that one go.
Yeah, it is a little bit not very typical of Bruce, but he knew 66 is a big jump, and he's going to have to leave it really late, and that's what he did. And he was awfully close to that corner. I'm not sure exactly what was going through his mind, but he had to push it, and it's not worth really an injury. But
so you might be going home in style, Craig.
That's true, Mark.
Okay, here we go. Jarrett Llewellyn looking for a big one. Let's see if he can get it together on this one. The score to beat, he needs 66.5 to take the lead. Let's see what he can do. He's out there in brilliant shape. He gets a nice setup. He's a little early on this one, pacing himself on the first one, having a look. And it is a nice jump. He gets magnificent flight, but Craig, it's not going to be long enough.
No, it definitely isn't. He definitely needs to bring it down a little bit. That's for sure. And what Jarrett does it's kind of deceiving what Jarrett does, different than everybody else. He gets a little bit narrower, but he leaves the speed really late and then works it right from the wakes to the jump. That's what he does really very well and kicks it. And so we won't see him go as late as the other competitors, but what we will see is from the wakes to the jump, he'll be edging extremely, extremely hard, and we'll watch for that explosive power off the top.
Nonetheless, one of our better opening jumps, 59.3. In fact, it's our second best opening jump for Jarrett Llewellyn, but up against it to try to to take the lead away from Scott Ellis, who jumped 66.4. Jim Clooney, what did you think of that jump?
I think just like Craig said, just a bit too early on the setup, and he's going to need to bring it down on the 600, right down by the rocks there where you countercut. That's a lot of the time where the lateness of the cut starts. And right now, Jarrett's got about as good a wind conditions as anybody's had, and I think if he can get set up, really that 66.4 mark, Jarrett's really the only one that has it within himself, sort of the comfort range where he doesn't need to risk life and limb to get it. So, I think, that's the difference. He's had the 66, so he's probably not going as hard as Bruce was off the bat, but I think he's going to go.
Jarrett's second jump.
Number 2. Are you okay, Craig? You're going to be all right?
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I'm holding my breath, though.
Breaking out in the sweat.
Here we go. Second out there. Conditions absolutely perfect. I think Craig wishes he was down there, but he knows his brother can do the job. Away we go now to the bottom with the Canadian. In good shape. Oh, boy. That was very close to losing control. Slipped out there and a lot of speed in, Craig, but how's your heart?
Yeah, let me just catch my breath there. But just like I was saying, he's going to push really hard from the wakes to the jump. And that's exactly what he did. And unfortunately, you can cause an upper body crush there. And that's what happened and when you got that much pressure on your skis.
You see there he had a magnificent turn in, keeps the skis angled in, pushes all the way to the bottom. And a nice landing, but Jarrett needs one more. He has just one more opportunity to try and take this World Cup event from Scott Ellis. Scott Ellis is down on the dock. He's with Andrew Barnett now.
Thanks, Mark. Scott, let me cast your mind back 1 year. Just last year, you were at the other end. You were the competitor that had to put the distance out there on your last jump. Mike Heath was standing here. How's it feel to be in the other shoes?
I tell you, it doesn't feel good. I'd rather be in Jarrett's position right now because at least I'd have all the control. Right now, I just got to sit back and if he does good, he's a better man today. If not, then, take it as it comes.
Well, tell us a bit about what's going through Jarrett's mind in the city, and he's got about a minute and a half till he comes on course. What's he thinking about?
I'll tell you what I was thinking about last year was really just focusing, not worrying about it's my last jump, not worrying about it's the finals, but just worrying about what I have to do in the water. Just take it nice and controlled, do what I did the day before to jump far and what he did the day before to jump far.
You made a comment just a minute ago that you thought that if there's going to be a world record today, this guy will do it.
Yeah, I think if Jarrett beats me, it won't be by just a little bit. I think it'll be the world record.
Okay, mate, congratulations. Either way, whether you're a winner or a loser, you fantastic jump today.
Yeah,
Jarrett Llewellyn, one last jump. The pressure's on, guys.
Yeah, well, he's got the Holden Suburban, and like footy coaches, he's taking it 1 week at a time. Well, that's the way they would like to do it anyway. So can Jarrett do it?
Here we go, Jarrett Llewellyn. Well, what a pressure jump. The final jump of this World Cup event. And you would not write this guy off. And Craig Llewellyn just biting fingernails up here at the moment because he knows that his brother can do it. He's in beautiful position out there once again as he waits for the right time to cut. He's found it, away he goes. He's going to have tremendous speed to the bottom. And he's got the lift. Oh, that's going to be close. Oh, is it going to be enough? It's going to be so close. I think Scotty Ellis might be safe.
I think you're right, Mark. I think Jarrett just got caught a little bit with the wind, pushed him back a little bit. He left it a little bit early again, and but really worked the jump really nice. Got a good lift, but it wasn't quite late enough.
Magnificent lift. Now, somehow, if you watch Jarrett in the air, he seems to get about a third or 2/3 of the way through his flight. He seems to get another leg of flight. Have a look at it here. How does he do that?
Well, he's built up so much pressure right before the bottom of the jump that he's actually going away from the boat. And that's what drives the skier up. And that's what Jarrett does so nice, and he actually gets his later. And that's the result from pushing so hard right in the bottom.
61.8, so that's his best jump. But it means the winner of the first leg of the Café de Colombia World Cup for 1998 will be Scott Ellis with a jump of 66.4 metres. We'll take a break from the Yarra, back in just a moment. And welcome back to the banks of the Yarra, and let's check the results. We had an Aussie victory in the wakeboarding and the women's jump, but not so in the men's. But with Scotty Ellis, 66.4. Magnificent jump. Curtis Shears came in second. He went off first, had a spill in his second jump, but still came away with